I didn't know I was walking into the vagina monologue.
You've been there before.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Because I know where my thing is all the time.
Yes. Well, that's what guys do.
I don't need a chart.
But that's the difference between men and women. This is what men do. Men stand there and go, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, they're moving everything around, moving everything around. They're moving nuts this way. They're going this way. They're going this way. We can't do that. We're like, ooh. Yeah. One of the reasons I love Still Fooling Them, and we're going to talk a bit about it. But I think first, we got to talk about our friend and our brother, Robin Williams. You did an amazing tribute at the Emmys. I cannot imagine that was seamless. Was it?
It was one of the hardest things I've ever, if not the hardest thing I've ever had to do. You know, he was such a great, dear friend of ours and such a joyous spirit. So when it all happened, it was, you know, so breathtaking. And that's why I tweeted then, I just wrote no words.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have any.
No.
I just had pain.
Yeah.
And so that night was the first chance I would talk and say something about our buddy. And it was hard to craft it, to make it humorous and personal without being self-serving.
Right.
And sort of being in a 2-minute eulogy in front of the country. That was difficult.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it was, you know, that people responded to it. And it helped me get through, you know, what we were all going through.
Yeah. I mean, do me a favor, and people think they know Robin, but who was Robin that we know?
I'm not sure.
Explain.
Well, because he was such an amazing person.
Yeah.
He was the most brilliant performer you could ever imagine.
Yep.
I talked about that. His physical presence on a stage was amazing.
Yeah.
Many times, you know, we'd be together on stage, the three of us, and Whoopi and I were like his parents. We were like his parents. And we were taking the crazy son out for a spin. And we just sometimes would watch him, and then it just became so sort of magical, you know, to work with him, and it was just the greatest.
Yeah.
Those were we raised $70 million to help the homeless in America.
Yeah.
And we had, but for us, it was a chance to get to know each other. And that started in 1986, and we became the closest of friends. And Robin and I just bonded then in the quiet moments, in the moments when we would bring checks to the homeless shelters around the country, because a month after, to HBO's credit, we had hundreds of thousands of dollars that we would go and go to the House of Ruth in Washington.
Yes.
Or in Denver, or downtown LA, the Venice Family Clinic.
Yep.
And the three of us would come, or it would be one of us or two, and we would go and it was the greatest.
The money.
And just the look on their faces, like, hey, look, here's a van we just bought you in Washington. Remember that? So it was fantastic times. But Robin and I, as we got older, became this amazing bond and very fiercely protective of each other. And in great ways. The phone calls, you know, we talked about doing an album.
Yeah.
Like in June, about let's take these phone calls.
Yeah.
We were like two jazz musicians. Late at night, I'd get these calls, and we'd go for hours, and we never spoke as ourselves. It was like the greatest. When it was announced I was coming to Broadway, I had 50 phone messages in one day from somebody named Gary, who wanted to be my backstage dresser. I worked with everybody. I worked with Carol Channing. Don't want to talk about that. And it was like great. And we were very protective of Whoopi.
Yeah.
When you would host the Oscars, and Robin lived in San Francisco, and I'd be in LA. She'd do an opening. Phone would ring. How do you think she's doing, boss? I thought it was good. Really strong opening. It's great. Good. 5 minutes later, you've done your first intro. What do you think? I think it was really good. The whole show would be the two of us on the phone. And then good night. She was good, right? I think she was great. Good. All right. Bye-bye.
These were my So I want to show you one of my favorite moments from Comic Relief, because the two of them, I would just sit and you didn't want to go do it. You just wanted to watch these fools. Please watch this. It's my favorite.
What is this?
Take a look.
She's so excited, and she just can't hide it. Turn, she's about to lose control, and I think I like it. Oh, yeah. She's so excited.
How have you been?
Good.
I'm so really happy to be here.
And we cross. Ooh, ow. Ooh,
Like a witch.
oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
And we bring her out.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Butch it up, honey, butch it up.
the star of our show, here's Ms.
Bobby!
Hold it. Hold it. What's the problem? It's Betty.
I said, Bobby, it was something that happened last night. I'm sorry.
Betty Boy. Yeah, he was, you know, first of all, I hate saying he was. It's just,
I know,
not even been 2 months.
yeah.
And it's just so odd for everybody. I was in Europe when it all happened.
Yeah.
And the outpouring of love around the world
Yeah.
for him was pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, well, it was extraordinary.
Yeah,
I mean,
but when I was in the airport, and it's every newspaper, with international newspapers, his picture on the front page with all the craziness that was going on in the world, everyone felt bad that somebody that they loved had gone.
Yeah.
And that, I thought, was pretty astounding.
Yeah.
You know?
It was, I mean, he was, because, you know, I met him 10 years before I met you guys, because he used to come to the Comedy Store in San Diego, and we would improvise.
Yeah.
And it was Robin Williams. I mean, he used to move to Mark and Mindy. So when we first re-met, he was like, boy, you grew up. I was like, yeah, I turned out all right. He said, all right. And they babysat me and taken care of me for as long as I can remember. And we've aged together and grown up together. So it's one of those things. But I also want to share something else that I love about what we did with Comic Relief, and that was some of our openings. I still believe that we did some of the best openings for a show ever. You guys have, yeah, right. So, you know, that's one. This, I think, is the first one, yeah? With all of the boxes and everything? Oh, no,
Yes.
this is, oh, my
That's
God.
one of the- yeah.
That was a great
That was
one.
at Radio City Music Hall.
Yes, yes. That's the first time I did stand-up because of y'all.
Right, that was
And
Radio City,
Radio
yeah.
City. Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, you know, there was nothing that we couldn't do together.
Yeah.
There was nothing we couldn't do.
Yeah.
Look, baby, you're going to stick around because we're going to talk about the book?
Yeah, it'd be
But
great.
shall we honor our friend?
Yeah.